Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Ready, 88. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Ready.
On 1st and 10, Newton. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Newton. Completes it to Aguilar. Touchdown, Carolina. Nelson Aguilar. 62 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. We thought they may be a quick strike offense this season. That is lightning quick. Not bad for the first drive of the year.
That has to actually exceed expectations, doesn't it? Because most teams want to be a quick strike offense. They want to score as quickly as possible and run a defense into submission. What they have to understand is, while they got it done there, long way to go. Don't get discouraged if you have to run a few more plays on your next drive.
Gano the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Bryant will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Ito Smith, his first carry. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
20.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Right there. Ready. Go. 51, sub! Mike's 54! Hey, Delta!
They snap it at 1. Now Ryan. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them, and they took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Check 52. Hey, Tuesday. 21. Hey, Orbit.
Ryan. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Sound, ready, 54, Mike. Let's go, D. Mike, 54. Mike, 54. Check back. 39. 54, Mike, 54.
Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6. Ryan now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10.
Watch the twist. Hey, high 7. Mike 5-4.
Throwing again, Ryan. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Check. Hey, Haywood.
Throwing again, Ryan. That's complete to Smith. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Ryan will throw again. And he's got his man on the out route. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On first down, Ryan. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Vic Beasley making it look easy, cruising in for the sack.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now Ryan. Forced out to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. That's caught inside the 20. Yeah, he's going to get this deep on a Carolina side of the field. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter one of the new year. We'll be back. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. A first down carry for Smith. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense and at times will actually make checks just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Ryan to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
21. 54, right there. 54 miles. Get up.
From the shotgun, Ryan. This is caught. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here we go now with Smith. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Try to punch it in with Smith. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. This Carolina defense looking to keep him out of the end zone once more. 3rd and goal. Here's Smith. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ito Smith taking it in as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for it.
And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, 75 yards. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now on 2nd and 13, Ryan. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score.
Ready? They're ready? Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And dropped at the 35, but able to display some strength on the run. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Squeeze, double. Gun. 45, Mike, 45. You remember me?
Newton to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive? And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
40. 8. It's a set, but 8. You think you won't get this? You think you won't get this? Yes. Check 45 to Mike. Check 20.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Sliding out of the pocket. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. And it's third down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Check, crunch. 8. Express. Check hot route. Hot.
Third and long. It's Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
We know that Gano has that big leg. He had the longest made field goal in the NFL last year, 63 yards to beat the Giants in Week 4. That was the longest game winner in NFL history, and he converts from long here again.
Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. The Falcons on third down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Jones hit, and the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
45 to Mike. Hey! Blue down. Great.
They fake the give. Newton. It's caught by Aguilar. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Come on now, let's go.
A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And, of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half.
Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. 3 buzz. Hey! Watch twist.
On first down, it's Newton. Open man is Samuel, complete. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
40%. Bring it. Hey! Check 45 to Mike. Check 20. Come on. You better bring it. Why? Get ready.
Now Newton on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Tight right. Gun. 45. Mike, 45.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 22 yards there, a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Newton. And that will be caught by Moore. He's got a Panthers touchdown. Cam Newton with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Panthers, they widen their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Brian Burns. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Brian Burns, his 2nd sack of the night. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. Caught by Jones. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. The former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Tighten down. Wait! Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Watch the curl. Watch the curls. Let him go.
Here's Ryan to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Vic Beasley able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Third and long, it's Ryan. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you. And
he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, 51 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Ryan. And he's going to have the hook up to Scott. And all the way down to the 37. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 43 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two.
At the 39-yard line.
That's right. Wait.
On 2nd and 12, Ryan. This complete to Jones. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 21 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Graham. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now Ito Smith, and they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Shift. Guys. Got it to go.
Now it's Ryan. Going for it all. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
4 down. Great. Hayward. Here goes.
Out of the gun, Newton. Flush to his right. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Everyone, you got 4 down. Check safety. 25, check 8.
A shotgun snap for Newton. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one goes for 29 yards on third down.
First down. First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Set. 780. Let's go. 20. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
This is McCaffrey. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the Falcons' 42-yard line.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
I got him.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Mike, 45. I know he ain't got it.
Third and 2. Newton. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the run, watch the run. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Hey!
Now Newton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Here we go again.
To throw again. Newton, he gets it to Thomas. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 17-yard line. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Newton now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Let's get in there. Let's get in there. Watch the edge.
The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter.
Set 180.
I don't even know why this team showed up. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right.
Move. Hey, 20. Orbit. .45. 45. Mike, 45. Hey, man. Watch the boot.
Now a first down throw for Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Cameron Jordan, his second sack of the night.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore, and that'll make it third down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. And it's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a fourth down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on third and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run. But how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on fourth down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Falcons on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Staying on the ground, this time it's Smith. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And now just 3 seconds before the 2-minute warning, they're going to call a timeout here defensively. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning.
Hey, South. Bravo.
From the 30 on second down, Ryan, and down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
Check pass. Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Ryan. He's going to let it fly. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Check. Shift, watch the shift. Check. Hey, wahoo!
Mike 54.
They're going on fourth down. It's Ryan. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Brian Burns. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they will take a knee here. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this when everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Panthers, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Yeah. Yeah.